would be like this. But now I'm coming with a new plan. Gonna take a stand, gonna find a way to change the game. You tell me that I should stay, trust what you say and that it's all okay. But everything starts to feel like a con, and I'm the pawn. Am I right or wrong?
This episode of Nock On is all about DIY, doing it yourself, because that's exactly how I got my whole start in this industry, was taking a camera with me in my backpack and filming my hunt. And I can tell you, my most memorable hunts are the ones where I've not only had to try to figure out how to take the animal, but get it on film. And this past year, there was no exception. One hunt was super crazy, and it was my buck that I got here at my home state. I didn't have a camera person, the weather was nasty, it was miserable, it was rainy, and the only thing I could find to put over my camera to protect it from the elements was a used sandwich bag in the bottom of my backpack. And I'll tell you what, it's things like that that make these hunts so special.
Initializing connection. Loading contact. Selecting field equipment. Equipment selected. Targeting destination.
Well, it's a nasty morning today. It's Sunday. And I should be at home with my family. They're all sleeping, but to be honest with you, I left my decoy out here last night and my stuff in the tree, and then here comes the rain, unexpected. It's raining, so I scrambled out here to get I wanted to get my decoy, and my camera equipment was all in the tree and stuff, and so the only thing I had was, what's funny is, right there, it's a sandwich bag, one of my sandwich bags. I wrapped it around the camera for right now, but it's a pretty nasty morning. I've hunted, let's see, probably pushing 40 days now, and just have not seen the bucks I want. There's a couple bucks on the hit list. Crab's #1. We got Swords, which is in this area here, a big buck I haven't seen. Demolition, but yesterday I had about 15 bucks and awesome encounters with my decoy. I mean, all the does are with the fawns again, the ruts, you know, all the bucks are in cruise and roam mode, so when they see those bucks or hear anything, they're real responsive to grunts. I grunted my buck in Kansas the other day. We're gonna see what happens. Nasty, nasty rainy day, but you never know.
Now at first, I thought this was a great buck, but as soon as he turned, immediately I thought this was Mr. Krabs, or Krabby. This was the buck that I had been holding my tag for the whole season, because as soon as I had gotten on this farm and put some cameras out, after about 3 weeks, I got pictures of Mr. Krabs several different times, and I knew this was just an amazing whitetail. Be sure to visit NockOnArchery.com to see our entire line of Nock On lifestyle clothing, as well as some awesome Nock On gear and accessories that I personally take to the field myself. Enter promo code SHOWFAN and I'll include a free signed photo. Also remember that all US orders over 100 get free shipping. NockOnArchery.com.
Yeah! I just got crabby. Oh my gosh, she's down. Yeah! Woo! I cannot believe it. That is the one buck I wanted.
Field Recon.
Since this week's episode is about do it yourself, I thought that it would be fitting for the Field Recon to talk all about exactly how I set my camera up to film myself, because honestly guys, Nock On TV all started because of the footage that I started to accumulating filming myself. And then when a friend could come with me, or eventually when I got married, Sharon could come with me. But you know, even with that, you know, we're still a family. There's a lot of days I go out by myself and I have to rely on filming myself, just like I did with that buck Big Mike. And really, there's only a few things that you need, you know, that are essential to filming yourself. First off, the cameras. There's a lot of great cameras, consumer grade cameras, even at Walmart. You know, the main thing is nowadays, look out for a digital camera, one that captures onto a card, and make sure it's HD or high definition. That's going to be most important. Then from there, the next most important thing is going to be getting a good camera arm. You know, there's several different kinds of camera arms depending on the weight of your camera, and obviously the bigger your camera, the bigger that arm needs to be. But I actually have been really happy with this arm that Muddy makes. This is actually their consumer grade camera arm. It's a smaller arm. I can easily put this in my backpack. I put it in my backpack and I take it in and out with me every single day. But after the camera arm, the next most important thing is going to be one of these thumb remotes, because you know, you need to be able to just work the camera without having to go to the top of the camera or reach around to the back of the camera. So just really, you know, look into getting a thumb remote. I bought this one from Campbell Outdoors. You can go online. So this is a Bogan model. They're about 150 to 170 bucks, but it's a thumb remote. From there, when it comes to the actual setup, what I do is I set my base level with my armpit when I'm sitting down. And just so you know, I'm not very high in the tree. That's why I don't have my safety harness. But with this level with my armpit when I'm sitting down, and this is for a right-handed shooter, I can have the screen facing back to me. I can easily navigate this camera, and literally anything I'm looking at, I can film just like this by myself looking at the screen. And you know, and I literally wait for them to get to the area or estimate the area where they're getting ready to walk to. And then, you know, I'll have my bow usually ready to go. And like in that instance with Big Mike, he was moving across. So I put the camera where I knew he was going to go. I pulled back and I just glanced at my screen. And as soon as I seen him walking towards the center of the screen, I made the shot. So, you know, the other thing too is if you stand up, you can just point your screen straight up towards you, and then you can look down and see everything you're filming. So the right armpit is a great way to put it. Now, another place to put it, which gives you a really cool angle, and depending on the tree and the amount of coverage in front of you, sometimes you need to have the camera slightly higher. And for that, if you mount the base level with your shoulder, you can actually have it a little bit above you and get an over-the-shoulder look. Now I'm just going to sit on the bottom of this platform just to illustrate where that position would be. So if this was level with my shoulder, I could actually have the camera right back here. You can turn the screen towards you, and you can literally just look back at your screen and move this camera right over. You can put yourself on one edge of the screen and just put the animal on the other side of the screen, pull back and make your shot. So those are two different camera angles. Both give you a great picture. And I can tell you right now, filming yourself and capturing those memories on camera is really something cool. To go home, show your friends, show your family. So hopefully you can put that to use. It's simple, don't be afraid to do it. That's this week's Field Recon. If you're looking to learn more about archery, be sure to tune in to Knock On Podcast. Knock On Podcast is a weekly talk show where I get in depth with shooting techniques, equipment setup, and also give you a no BS review on some of the latest industry gear. Knock On Podcasts are great for listening on a road trip or that dreaded ride into work. Expand your archery knowledge with the highest level of world-class information on the airwaves. Knock On Podcast.
Like my face paint? Ooh, and a coffee. Ooh. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Dad.
There's the Dudley dude right there.
It was the lucky face?
I know. The lucky face paint. We've been painting ourselves like 100 different types of ways this week to try to figure out what was the lucky way, and evidently the buck stripes was the way to go. So, you guys ready to go see him?
Yeah.
Nice boots, dude. Those are Mom's. Your feet look really big today. What do you think, dude? Look at that hog. Oh my Lord. Look at this thing, babe. Come around over here. Hold my bow for me, dude. Can you believe the neck on that thing? Oh my gosh. Maybe right here, babe. For as stiff as he is. Holy smokes. Come right here, babe. This would be a good spot. Oh! Oh! Wow! Oh my gosh, it's not crabs. It ain't Crabby.
Is it not?
Crabby's twin. Look at the neck and the
He's
face.
huge.
Look at that thing. Come on down here, dude. Squat down with that Hoyt Carbon Matrix Plus. What do you think of that big old pushing 170 glass buck? Yeah, like 20 inches wide. Holy cow. Holy cow. Look at that. Big old Roman nose. See how short his nose is? Call it a Roman nose. Look at the size of his neck. I think this is a very, very, very old deer, which is exactly what we want here. When they're rubbing their hair off all the way plumb back by their butt, you know they're got some crazy tine length, that's for sure.
During the late rut, you never know what's going to come, and this buck right here was a perfect example. He was a spitting image of Mr. Krabs, only he didn't have the kicker on his G3. And after showing this buck around to several of my neighbors, I found out that one of my neighbors, Mike, had the only picture of this gray ghost, and he was a giant buck, and since Mike was the only one to ever get a picture of him, we went ahead and named this buck Big Mike.
Get the benefits of it. What do you think, dude?
It's really big.
Really big?
Yeah.
Love you, buddy. Sorry to wake you up so early.
Love you too, Dad.
All right, we're going to get him out where we can get some good photos. Stay with us.
Dead Center.
This week's Dead Center is about do-it-yourself replacing your bowstring, because at some point or another you're going to have to do that. And I believe that knowing some basic things and basic ways to work on your equipment is going to be important for you. Now, the first thing you need to do is make sure when it comes time to replace a string, select the right replacement string. I mean, it's imperative that you have a high quality string. I actually take all my bows right when I get them and I replace the strings with Winner's Choice. I've done that for a long time. It's a great custom string. They fit nocks properly, they're weatherproof, and they last a long time. Then what I'll do is I'll take the original set that I had on the bow, put it in a baggie, and I can take that with me as a backup set on any of my travels. That way, if for whatever reason, if I ever cut a string or a cable, I have an original one with as a replacement. But the first thing that you want to do when you replace your string and cable is you're going to need to take a pencil and mark your cams on both the top and the bottom. And you mark them using your limb as a straight edge reference. Now that mark is telling you exactly where your cams are positioned with a string in the same spot as when you have it set up and you're comfortable with it. So after you have those marked, what you need to do is just replace one string or one cable at a time. Put it in a bow press the correct way, relax the bow, change one string, then let it out of the press, pull it back a few times and look at those marks. You might have to add a twist or take a twist away of the string to get those marks in the exact spot. But once you replace one string or one cable at a time and you have those marks in the perfect spot, then you can go ahead and move on to the second string or the second cable on your bow. And if you do one at a time, it'll be a lot easier than taking everything off at one time. Plus, having those marks is going to make sure that your poundage and your draw length are back where they were when you started. The next thing is, once you've put your string on the bow, you need to tie your knock points and your loop on there. And what I like to do then is take my string that I took off, and you can actually realign the loops and it'll show you exactly where your peep sight needs to be so that that's in the perfect place too. So again, once you're done taking your old ones off, go ahead and put these in a baggie. Keep them with you on any of your travels. That way, if you ever have some type of an emergency, you've got a backup set with you. So try that next time you're replacing your strings and your cables. Now we're going to go on an awesome hunt with one of the other Nock On crew members, Justin Schaefer. Now I met Justin several years ago through a mutual friend, and immediately we hit it off because Justin has served our country in the military. He's a world champion sniper. He's a world-class sniper instructor, and he lives up on the military base in Anchorage, Alaska, and he really knows what it's like to get out on some of the most hardcore hunts that you could ever imagine. And this is a hunt that he did himself and self-filmed a billy goat up at who knows how many thousands of feet off his backpack. Once again, this is a perfect example of how filming yourself could be the ultimate in being able to remember and relive that cool memory.
I went all the way around. I was coming back to camp to meet up with Mike. See a patch of white coming up the hill. I dropped my pack, grabbed my bow, grabbed the camera, didn't know if it was going to work. Moved forward onto a rock, set the camera on the rock, and started lacing range marks. And goat fed perfect. Read the script, come up over the hill, right to my 40-yard mark that I had lazed. I drew back and just hammered him with my Hoyt Maxxis. I thought that the shot might have been a little bit low, but now that I've checked it, I heart punched that dude. Well, he took off running, stopped at about 20 yards, hit him with the Nikon rangefinder again, dead on 60, threw my 60-yard pin on him, and I don't know if I pulled it or if he started walking when I touched the trigger, but I hit him quite a ways back, but it ended up getting that big artery that runs underneath the spine. He made it 40 yards down the hill here and ended up expiring quick.
Hey everyone, if you want to see more from us at Nock On, be sure to visit our website, knockontv.com. You can get free articles, free videos, and also make sure you join us on Facebook. See you there.